I would say sorry, maybe. Oh, but that makes me. Oh, sorry. It's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, my name is Sohan. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're here because you saw my sign that says that I'm doing a social experiment. And like I said, I'm looking for someone who has the following three qualities: empathy, courage, and a willingness to change. Do you think you have those three qualities?
I hope so.
Yeah. So we'll start with reciting a quote. I'll tell you this quote. It's making a comparison of two things. And then we'll take a deep breath together because, as I said, it's kind of a heavy quote. After that, I'd like to hear how it makes you feel, and then we can sort of dive into this comparison that's being made. So the quote is this: in relation to animals, all people are Nazis. For the animals,
All people are not.
are Nazis. Like Nazi Germany?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for the animals, it is an eternal Treblinka. So do you know what Treblinka is?
Treblinka.
It was one of the extermination camps, one of the concentration camps during World War II. Yeah. So what's being compared here, just to make sure that you understand? Yeah. You understand what the comparison is?
Yes, yes.
between-
I can understand that.
So it's basically between what happened to Jewish people, for example, during World War II, and what we do to animals, for example, when we use them for food. So will you take a deep breath with me before we start talking about this? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the first question is just how do you feel when you hear that?
It's a bit hard because I eat meat, but I can totally hear what you are saying, and I think I try to not think too much of that because I would not eat anything anymore. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can understand. What I do is that I not eat that much meat, but I try to buy only those that where it's written that animals lived outside and everything. But I can totally hear that they are killed by the end. So
yeah. So just to you said that there is sort of you can see the comparison. If you had to put a number to it between 1 and 10, like 10 saying like these two things are basically the same, 1 saying there's no similarity at all, 1 to 10, how good of a comparison do you think it is?
It's a bit hard question because as I contribute to that kind of thing because I eat meat, if I would like to say a large number, but as I contribute to it, it's not easy.
Yeah. Well, what would you say if you could set aside your own personal?
Yes, I would say maybe 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was written because a lot of people don't know the origin of this quote. Have you heard it before? I'm assuming you haven't.
About what?
Have you heard this quote before?
No.
Yeah. So this was written by Isaac Bashevis Singer, and he was a Nobel Prize-winning author from Poland, and he was also a Holocaust survivor. So he actually fled from Nazi-occupied Poland to escape exactly this. So I think I like to share that context so people know where the quote comes from, because I think it holds a little bit more weight coming from someone who actually was a victim. So I'd like to sort of dive into this comparison a little bit more, and we can start by sort of thinking through the differences and similarities. So what are the main differences that come to mind if we start with those when you think of this?
Differences. Maybe, well, we are not sure about that, but I would say I'm not sure of the English, but the thinking, the mind of animals is maybe not the same as humans. So for people, they knew what was going to happen. Kids knew that they were going to be separated with parents and everything, and they were very scared. And I'm not sure it's the same for animals. I guess they can. I know they can feel pain as humans, but I'm not talking about pain. I'm talking about
understanding, maybe?
Yes. Yeah. So that's the difference, I think.
Yeah. Well, even if they couldn't, I'm sure there were some children, for example, who couldn't understand what was happening, right? And probably they were still very scared because of what was going on. But yeah, I think you're right. I think even more generally, you can just say that like humans and animals, right? The victims are just different. One is something that happened to humans, other thing is happening to non-human animals. Are there any other major differences that come to mind?
Well, the numbers of animals is huge compared to humans that were killed, I think.
Yeah. Do you know, so for the human case, over the course of 4 years, about 6 million Jewish people were killed. Do you know how many animals we kill, for example, in just 1 year? Can you guess?
I guess it's huge, but I'm not able to tell the figure.
Yeah. So you said more than 6 million. If you just had to
Yeah.
throw a number out there, what would
I
you
guess
guess?
so, because like in every country we eat meat.
Yeah.
Different kind of meat, but
Yeah.
so I guess it's huge. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard question.
So, I mean, if you had to guess, would it be like, do you think it's more or less than 100 million?
You said for 1 year, or
Yeah.
For 1 year, it's very difficult. I don't know. Maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more. It's actually a lot more.
Oh, really?
So just land animals is about 80 to 90 billion. And then if you include also sea animals like fish and such, then it's 1 to 3 trillion.
Wow.
So for context, the total number of humans who have ever lived in all of history, if you count up every single human ever, it's about 120 billion. So we kill that many animals, we hit that many land animals in about a year and a half, or that many animals total in like a few weeks, basically. So
It's incredible.
yeah, I think it's much bigger than a lot of us realize. The last major difference that comes to mind, I think that's kind of obvious to people, is the purpose, right? And of course, one of them was
Yes.
motivated by wanting to exterminate
Yes,
them.
yes,
The other
yes.
one, we actually want to sort of keep it going
I
because
should
it's some
tell
sort of
that. Yeah.
benefit.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm definitely. Sorry, I'm looking for the word in English, but against hurting animals just for fun, like corridas or everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I come from France, in a city where there are still corrida, and so I am going on the manifestations. Not sure the words. Like people always, we should stop that.
Yeah.
So because it's just hurting for fun. So I'm definitely against that. But as if it's for to eat, it makes a difference for me. Maybe you should not, but it does. Yeah.
Do you think we can eat other things?
Yes, of course we can. Some people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
That's right. But I'm just thinking that like 1,000 years ago, people used to eat meat.
Yeah.
It like has always been.
Yeah.
And so we continue. Maybe we should. We should ask ourselves the right questions, but we just go on.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's part of the reason that I have people think about this, right? Is because, like you said, it's something that we all are just born into, and if we don't pause to question these things that have been handed down to us, then things never will change.
Yes, because our parents gave us meat, so we just went on.
Yeah, and not just our parents, right? The entire society around us, right? So I think we captured the difference as well. I think I also want to explore the similarities. I'll name some similarities and you can tell me if either you disagree that they're similar or if you haven't heard about this. So the first one I'll say is in both instances, individuals are treated like objects. In both instances, they are confined to a farm or camp. In both instances, they suffer on those farms or camps. In both instances, they are branded or mutilated on those farms or camps. In both instances, individuals are killed at the end of the process. And in both instances, individuals are killed in gas chambers.
And
in gas chambers.
Oh, really? For animals too?
Yeah, that's the one that always surprises people. I think a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, so pigs, almost all pigs are killed in gas chambers. It varies from country to country, but around 90% of pigs. And some chickens as well are killed in gas chambers. Yeah. So how do you feel after hearing that?
Bad.
Yeah.
Of course, bad. It makes sense. It makes us asking questions, thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I think you've already demonstrated some empathy in the way that you talk about these animals and what they go through. You've heard where this quote comes from. You've heard some of the similarities and differences. in terms of courage, I wanted to ask if you would be willing to watch a very short video of what happens to these animals.
If it's animals suffering and everything, no, because every time I see that, I can't sleep on the night. I just no, thank you, but
no, okay.
I can't.
Okay, so if you can't even watch it, how do you continue to pay for it?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, because I would not do that for my cat or the dogs I used to have. So
so you have a cat. You said what is your cat's name?
Sushi.
Sushi. That's a good name for a cat. And so, can you tell me a little bit about Sushi? Like, what is Sushi like?
She's gray and 2 years old.
Okay.
And my daughter loves her. And me too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I noticed as soon as we started talking about her, you sort of lit up. You immediately knew what she likes and dislikes. You know, I'm sure you could think of many stories to tell me about her, about specific funny things she did, things like that. Do you think there's any sort of difference between Sushi and a cow, a pig, or a chicken that justifies this difference in treatment?
No, just habits. Because we were born in a world where everybody told us that it was that way, and so we didn't took time to think about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there are really differences.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that much cows and everything, but I guess they feel the same as cats and dogs and.
Right. Yeah, they might have other differences, but in terms of something that justifies this, I don't think. I think you're right that I don't think there's any sort of major difference that makes it okay to do this to a cow or a pig or a chicken or a fish.
No, they don't deserve much more than cats, dogs, or humans.
Yeah. So what do you think it is that allows us to do this to them? Like in the way that we think? Because you said there's no difference in them, so there must be a difference in the way that we see them, right?
I think it's just habits. We get used to things depending on how our parents. What's the word in English? Make them grow. Not sure of the word.
Raised us?
Yes, thank you. Raise us. So we think it's normal if our parents raised us that way, then we just do it and not thinking that much. For me, it's the only thing.
Yeah. So going back to this comparison that we were making earlier from this quote, we talked about it from the perspective of the victims, but I'm curious to hear also from the perspective of the perpetrators, the people actually doing it. You know, the Holocaust, for example, didn't happen just because of a few people who hated Jews and wanted to kill them, right? There was a bigger nation that allowed this to happen, right? So there were a few people maybe who had a lot of hatred for this group, but then there were a lot of people who voted them in, maybe liked other policies that they had, and maybe just accepted this and didn't fight back against this atrocity that was happening. How do you think those people viewed Jewish people, or how do you think they sort of justified what happened to them if they didn't hate them?
They just followed the group. I think some people told us it was normal that way, and so they didn't think about it and they followed, and that's not a good thing. But I think humans often are that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, because some influent people knew how to speak, how to talk to those people, to the group, and they managed to convince them.
Convince them that
that it's normal to do that to Jewish.
Because they saw them as being a different sort of category of people or something?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, I think that it's what they did.
Yeah. I think the way that I describe that is that they viewed them, going back to this idea of viewing individuals as objects, I think that's how they learned to view these people.
Yes.
And do you think there's something similar that happens then in the animal case as well, in the way that we view these animals?
Yes, because we would not do that to humans or even to pets.
Yeah, so like dogs or cats.
Yes. So yes, it's the same process, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so to sort of summarize where we're at, because I know that you don't have a whole lot of time, we introduced this comparison between what happened to the Jewish people and what happens currently to animals. You sort of agreed that it was like a decent comparison, and you said that you would want to give it a high number, but you also feel conflicted about doing that because of your own participation in it. But you agree that these two events have a lot of similarities between them. We talked about the reasons that maybe people continue to participate. You told me at the beginning that you think you are also someone who has courage, empathy, and a willingness to change.
Maybe maybe I realized maybe not enough.
Well, what do you think would be a meaningful response to this new way of thinking about this?
Maybe
for you.
Maybe take the time to think more about it and think if it's a good thing to do that and how I could change. Maybe not stop definitely one day, but maybe less often, and maybe stop. And I'm sure my daughter will be okay to do that because she loves animals too.
Yeah.
So
does she know much about what happens to animals in order to eventually end up in her meals?
She knows, but I mean, like me, she was born in the world where it's like normal to do that.
Yeah.
So it's admitted to do that. So she doesn't ask questions to herself. I mean, at school there is meat, at home, so.
Yeah. So imagine that, because you talked about wanting to think more about this and maybe start to make some changes. Imagine that you could talk to one of these pigs that's about to be sent into a gas chamber, and imagine the pig could talk to you, and he asks, why are you doing this to me? What would you say to him?
Horrible. Oh my God. It's really hard. It's very, very hard. I would say sorry, maybe. But that makes me. Oh, sorry. It's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you're showing that you do have a lot of empathy for these animals, right? And I think that's beautiful.
Sorry. Yeah, maybe I would say sorry, and I would try to find explanation, but I'm not sure I would find them. I mean,
If you were in his position, is there any explanation that you think would comfort you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Maybe just saying that it's not a purpose to hurt them, just to. The thought is not ask good questions, but it's not just wanted to be. Don't find the word in English.
Okay.
To hurt, to be mad, or to be,
Yeah, it's not. You're not doing it because you hate them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well, it's not a good excuse, but at least it's. Maybe I would tell him, her, it that I would think about it. And
Yeah. Well, then I would just ask, thinking back also to the people who lived during the time of Nazi Germany, do we respect the people who thought about doing something but didn't actually change anything, or do we respect the people who actually made changes?
No, we respect people that did something to change.
Yeah.
Well, at least, of course, it's better to be a leader in changes. But if we follow, it's good, and it's also good.
I mean, you don't have to necessarily lead the fight as a whole, but the least you can do is think about your own choices, right? Whether you want to continue to actively participate in this, and you can think about the animals on the other side of those choices, because I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about that. Is that a change that you'd be willing to make?
I will definitely think about it, because that made me think and go ahead in reflection. Not reflection. I can't find the word in English, but mind. Sorry, I don't know how to translate.
Yeah. It gave you a different perspective, or it made you think about something new.
Definitely.
Yeah. Great. So I'm glad that you're thinking in a new way. I think that's part of what we're looking for, right? I think you've shown empathy. I think you've shown courage in being willing to talk about this.
I don't know if I have enough courage because, but I will try to do something.
Yeah. Well, can you promise me that you'll make some kind of change, right? So I can give you a couple of options. I can also give you some resources to help you concretely. One thing I can give you is a vegan map of Amsterdam, of all vegan restaurants here in Amsterdam. Have you heard the term vegan before? I think it's végétal in French. So a lot of people think of it as just being a diet, but really it's about the way that we see animals, right? The same way that you see sushi, the same way that you see other pet animals, it's just about extending that to all animals and just saying that these are not objects for us to use, they're individuals, they all want to live, they can all feel pain and suffer, and we don't need to consume them in order to be healthy, right? Both for food or for clothing like leather, fur, wool, or silk, or for entertainment like zoos, circuses, dogfighting, horse racing, all of these things, right? So we don't need to use animals anymore, and that's all being vegan means, is just recognizing that and then changing in alignment with that.
Yeah.
So the vegan map of Amsterdam has like all vegan restaurants. So one thing that you could do is, promise me to check out those places. I can also point you to a challenge called Challenge 22. It's completely free. It's a 22-day challenge online. They send you recipes every single day, and they also give you access to a dietitian. So if you have any questions about nutrition, or if you have any questions about, if you're concerned about...
Yeah, because, for example, I know that a lot of women, and also me, have a lack of...
Iron?
Yeah, iron.
Yeah.
And
that happens in vegan and non-vegan women, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's more.
No.
Yeah.
But and the doctor always tells me eat a lot of meat and and so it's good to find alternatives ways.
Yeah, you can also get iron from, for example, from lentils or from other vegetables that they do have iron. And it's a different form of iron than what you get in meat. And the kind that you get in meat is actually also associated with slightly increased risk of heart disease. So there are also like some trade-offs that happen there. But the reason I'm here is to explain to you sort of why to make this change, right? Because like you got so emotional thinking about that pig, and that's good. I think that's beautiful, and I think that's something that more of us need to connect with. Because once you have that strong reason why, then you'll find solutions, right? Rather than looking for excuses or saying, oh, this is too hard. As long as you have the victim in your mind, then it becomes really easy to find solutions.
I never thought about it before.
Yeah.
But it was I think it's a powerful way to make changes.
Yeah,
Really.
Great. I'm really happy that you hear that, because I know that also this is a comparison that's controversial for a lot of people, right? Some people really don't like comparing human atrocities to what happens to animals. So I'm glad that you're open-minded about that. And like I said, I think it's really it's more powerful coming from someone who actually lived through it, right? It's not that I was making this comparison, it's someone else who saw that and was a victim of it actually wrote about this.
It makes even more sense.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so can you promise me that you'll commit to making one of these changes if I give you some resources and tell you more about it? Awesome.
Yes.
Great. Then, we can wrap it up here. Let me turn off the camera. I'll give you some resources.
Okay.